And welcome to our Paris-Nice preview. It's a sunny Scotland, it's a sunny Italy, and delighted to welcome back Michael Valgren. Michael, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, and thank you for letting me be here once again.
Not a problem. Public demand wanted you back, so there we go. You are currently in Italy, about to race Strade Bianche tomorrow and Saturday, and then on an aeroplane to Paris-Nice on Sunday. Looking forward to Paris-Nice?
Yeah, I love Paris. It's for me, it's one of the best races in the year. Actually, you know, they were trying to put me on Tirreno Adriatico, but I actually asked for Paris once again because it's a race I really like, and it's a race that I performed well in before. So it's a race that I like to do, and also now when I live in Monaco, it's like my backyard. So it's nice to ride on roads that you know, because that's also really important for the races at this moment.
And it's quite I was going to say it's quite a relatively easy route this year. We have potentially 4 sprint stages, a time trial, and a couple of mountain stages. What do you think of the overall route?
Yeah, I think you're quite right about that. It's like it is going to be 4 stages for the sprints. I'm pretty sure about that. The sprinters want to test themselves before San Remo, and then we have, like you say, a time trial, and then we have one day with a small steep climb in the end, kind of like Flèche Wallonne finish, and then 2 hard mountain days. But like the last day is hard, but it's not like real mountains, so you can still see guys like Galopin for going for the win like 2 years ago. So it's actually only stage 7 that is really, really tough, in my opinion.
Looking at some of the sprints, we mentioned that there are potentially 4 sprints. Stage 1 is the first. Stage 1, unfortunately for some sprinters, it looks like a kilometre at 5% from kilometre 2 until the Flamme Rouge, then some downhill before the sprint finish itself. You've had a look at the stage. What do you think? Who do you think would be favourite for a stage like that?
That's what I also saw. There was a small rise. So actually, I've been looking for the smaller sprinters like Koga and Buani. And then also, once again, I'll mention another Dane, Magnus Kort Nielsen. He's really strong in these sprints, but also Michael Matthews. He comes, I think he hasn't raced for a long time, and I think he really wants to show himself here. He also lives in Monaco, so he also wants to perform well in Paris. So that's the guy I expect for the first stage.
Second stage is a mass sprint, easy, very, very flat. We have Kittel, we have Greipel, we have Christoph, Buhani, Demar. We have a long list of sprinters here.
Jacob, Groningen.
Yeah. It's a really good kind of sprint field. I suppose on a flat day we're looking towards Kittel, Greipel, Christoph maybe.
Yeah, that's the 3 guys I have given my stars for these flatter stage, I think, and then it all just gonna come down on who will have the best train. I think maybe they'll take 1 stage each, and everybody is happy. That would be nice.
Yeah, sprinters happy. When does that ever happen? We've done some stars for sprinters as well. You've got Kittel, Christoph, and Greipel as your top 3. I have Kittel, Christoph, and a surprise because I have Buhani in my top 3. Looking at the lead-out trains, Buhani and Demar actually are lucky in that they arrive with teams fully supporting them. No GC aspirations at all. Kittel comes in with only maybe Lampart and Sabatini. Greipel, again, not really backed up by a full team because you mentioned Galopin will be going for GC. Does that bring the smaller sprinters, the lesser sprinters, closer to the real fast men? Do you think that Demar, Buhani can challenge for stages?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I think Greipel and Christoph and Kittel are better sprinters. You know, for me, Buhani, he's more like a kamikaze. You know, him has to be a really crazy sprint, and then he has to be lucky also. But yeah, of course, they are motivated. They are both French, and it's a big race for French riders. So of course they will challenge them, and I'm pretty sure that maybe a guy like Minali from our team will also try to be up there. You know, his first real big race, and he's a young, talented Italian rider, and we will try to help him with Maddie and me and Ruslan. So we'll also be up there in the mix, you know, to challenge the guys.
The third stage is one where riders like Demar, I think, will look and try and drop Kittel, Greipel. There is a climb, 2.1 kilometres at 6.7% with 25 kilometres to go. Does that sound like a good place for the riders you mentioned, Cocard as well, for riders like that to try and eliminate the pure fast men?
For sure it will, but then again, a guy like Greipel, he climbs really well when it's only one climb. And when it's not harder than 2.1 kilometer, I think they will either be in the peloton or they will come back if the team are waiting for them. So, but of course, it's a good place to put them under pressure. So maybe it takes the top sprint out from the legs. But I don't think that they will, you know, be beaten by that, because you see the same riders, they do Milan-San Remo, and they have a climb just before the finish, so they can do these things.
We both have Groenewegen in at 1 star, a very quick young man. My only concern is that the Jumbo Sprint train is not. They don't have their top riders here because Kruijswijk is riding GC, so it will be difficult for him to hit the front with 200 metres to go. And coming past the riders we've already mentioned is going to be very, very hard. One rider I would like to mention is Sam Bennett of Bora Hansgrohe. He has just completed his first block of altitude training. He was away with Sagan in America. Now, not many sprinters usually do altitude training, to my knowledge. Do you have experience of altitude training yourself, Michael? Is that something you've done?
Yeah, I was actually at the same place at the same time as Sam Bennett in Sierra Nevada, and like you say, it's really rare that sprinters they do it. But I talked to him afterwards because he's also in Monaco, and I think he came pretty good out of it. And he said to me, as long as he has Wi-Fi, he can stay wherever they sent him. So, you know, in the end, it's all about being happy, and he sounded happy. And yeah, he's a fast rider, and for sure he can be up there and maybe make a surprise one day. He has a good leader guy in my good friend Michael Kola and also Eric Baska. They are young guys, but sometimes that's a good thing in the sprint when you have to be a little bit crazy, I guess. So for sure, Sam Bennett will be a guy we'll see also. I hope, but he's a good guy.
You always hear riders unsure when they return from altitude training. You know, sometimes they are brilliant, sometimes they are terrible. As an athlete, how does that feel? The uncertainty of not knowing what you're going to do.
Oh, it's terrible, especially in Sierra Nevada, because it's like almost 24,000 meters above sea level, so it's a bit higher than the normal altitude places. So you were a little bit afraid that maybe it will infect your training too much. So you're training maybe too hard or not, not hard enough. It's always a really hard balance, and you really got to know yourself really, really good. And so it will be really funny to see how Sam Bennett got out of it. Like for me, I like to train long and hard, so I have to take care when I go to altitude. But normally it really works for me. Like some weeks after, then I really get the kick from it. So that should be about it. Should be about now, actually.
It will be fun to see how he reacts, and hopefully it's a positive reaction. 4 sprint stages. Who do you think will take some wins?
Well, for sure, I think Kittel, he will keep riding on the wave he's on. You see him winning in Dubai, and I think it was Abu Dhabi as well. So, Quickstep is just a team that always wins the races, and that just something that's good for the morale. So I think he will for sure take some stages, and then I think maybe we could see see a small surprise, maybe. I think, or maybe not surprise, but I have a good feeling about Kuka in this Pyrenees. So yeah.
He has never won a World Tour race yet, Coquard. He has many, many wins. I think a lot of people think that this will be his season to step up. Obviously, second in Tour de France stage last season to Marcel Kittel by about 1 millimetre. I think Kittel will win a stage. I also have my eye on Buhani. I think you mentioned the crazy kamikaze style. The first stage has a 90-degree corner with 250 metres to go. That sounds like a Buhani stage to me. So, and we haven't really discussed Degenkolb. Degenkolb going very, very strong just now, and he will be a hard one to beat also.
For sure, but now I know he's on track, and I think they are. Of course, they want to do the sprint with Johnny, but I know they have Alberto there, and maybe he will have to help in the middle of the stage or something, because it's all about Contador when he's there, when he's riding. So I think for John it's also important the sprints, but he's mainly there for training before San Remo. So that's why I think will maybe his problem, but I'm not sure.
GC wise, we've got the time trial, 14.5 kilometres with the Mont Brûlé climb, 3k at 7.7%. Then we have one real big mountain top finish and two medium mountain type days. We have done the stars for the GC as well. We both have Contador and Port, and I think both of us had to reschedule at the last minute because Valverde has pulled out. So Contador, obviously you've ridden with him. People are often fascinated by him. What is his character like? What is he like as a person?
He's a really good guy. You know, I really enjoyed being at his team. You know, riding with him in the Grand Tours, and because he is a really big Grand Tour rider. He knows how to race, and he is a funny guy to race with because he takes some chances. Sometimes he goes from a far distance. Like actually last year in Pyrenees, he almost won the GC, but he just pulled back, and he gives the race some character. You know, he make them good racing instead of just waiting to the last climb and then go 6.5 kilo or whatever they go nowadays. So I think he's good for the sport, and I'm happy that he's still here.
Richie Port, is he a rider, you know?
Yeah, he is. He's a good friend of mine. I train with him not a lot, but last few weeks actually in Monaco before going to the Classic last week, so I was training with him almost every day, and he's going to be dangerous, that's for sure.
Yeah, because the worry was after such a strong start in Australia, he maybe would be kind of dipping just now before coming back up to peak. But you've seen him train. You think he's strong?
I know he's strong. You know, Richie's not stupid. You know, when he won Australia, he took a small break afterwards, and then he just started training again, nice and easy, and just have such a high level, and so he'll be ready for almost every race that he will compete in. So, and I know he likes to go fast in Pyrenees, and I know that he take a break after Pyrenees as well. So for sure he's in a good shape now, and like we always finished our ride with called the Le Madon, you know. So it was always hard end of the training, but Richie just keeps going, and so for sure he will be ready. I'm positive about that.
Yeah, you have your teammate Jakob Fuglsang in 2 stars. How is he just now? Is he going well? Because he had a slight disappointment on the Green Mountain stage when he wasn't particularly good, but you know this race should suit him.
Yeah, I know he's pretty good. I think the Green Mountain was a bit mental issue because they said it was longer than normal, and then they went a bit too hard in the beginning. So he's like, no, I can't do this for 40 minutes. So he kind of slowed down, and then it wasn't that long anyway. And so I know that took hard on him. So he's been training good lately, and and like Paris is also a race you don't have to be afraid from the cold. And I know Jakob, he's good when it's going to be raining or something like that, and the weather in the French Alps can really change a lot quickly. So that's something that suits him. So I think we hope for maybe bad weather so he can be in the front.
We both have Alaphilippe. I think mainly because he clearly is an exceptional athlete, but without long days in the mountains, he seems to be much better. Not quite yet ready to cope with a Grand Tour and 4,000 meters of climbing in one stage, but the time trial, the ramp finish, the Ardennes type style finish would be very good for him with bonus seconds, especially now Valverde's not here. Do you see him potentially challenging for the overall?
Sure. Yeah, like you say, he's an amazing athlete. I just think about his crash last year in the Tour, where he was like climbing on the wall after that horrible crash in the time trial. Landing on his feet, he's like a cat or something. I don't know, but he's. I saw him attacking on the climb in Abu Dhabi as well. And he has an amazing kick when he goes. So yeah, he can be up there at the Ardennes finish, and like you say, it's not like you're gonna climb 4,000 meters. It's solid climbs. It's not. It's really regular. And I think he can maybe be a surprise because he also do a good time trial, and the time trial is not totally flat. He can maybe do, like the last Mont Brulé really fast and gain back some time on his rivals. So for sure he's gonna be exciting to follow. And I put him on 2 stars and not Dan Martin because he had a better time trial, I think.
We both have Zakharin, who was super strong in Abu Dhabi last season. He was ridiculously consistent, always top 5, top 10 in big World Tour events, was going so well at the Giro until his crash robbed him of a top 5 finish there. Sure to be a dangerous rider here, I would imagine. The name that you have, which might surprise some people, is Michael Woods.
Yeah.
What do you think about Michael Woods?
Yeah, he surprised me last year in Tour Down Under, and then he had a bit of a breakdown, and he was good in the end of the season. And now I've been following him on Strava. I've been seeing him doing some big blocks on Teide in altitude as well, and I saw him go fast down there. So that's actually just my thought about him, because I saw him go fast in training, that maybe he can do well here. And actually, Cannondale is coming with a really, really strong team, so they're going to be exciting to see. Yeah,
they have Formolo, Roland, so they're sure to be attacking in the race. One rider I have is Simon Yates, who I think is, another phenomenal talent, overshadowed a bit by his brother last season, but he still finished 6th and won a stage in the Vuelta. His time trial maybe isn't quite as good as some of the others, so he might suffer. Another rider who is in that position is Romain Bardet. Brilliant rider, we both have it 2 stars, but his time trial will probably stop him from winning this race. He crashed on the Green Mountain stage, which was very unfortunate. Didn't look brilliant in Abu Dhabi, but I would imagine Paris-Nice Bardet will be at his attacking best. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I totally agree. French riders, French race, they always seem to go fast. I know how it is with us Danes when we do Tour of Denmark. We also go faster when we're racing on home soil. So that's why I picked him. And also he's a guy like Alberto. He likes to attack, and he's really good at it. So I'm looking forward to see how he goes, because he's also a guy who's not afraid of taking any chances.
And if you had to select a winner of the race, who's going to be the Paris-Nice champion?
It's almost too boring to say Richie, but BMC is having a really strong team, and he's maybe the GC rider with the best time trial. And if he don't lose too much time, then I think he's gonna smash it on the time trial or on the second last day, and then then the team is just going to cruise it home. So my guess is it's going to be Richie unless everybody's attacking him.
I will go with Contador then. Has a good record in time trials with a climb, and he was very, very strong in Andalucia. Was fun to watch him just shadow Quintana in Abu Dhabi. He wasn't going for any big attacks himself. It allowed Mollema to go away. So I think both riders are probably above everybody else, and I think it's sure to be one of those two who's going to win. For you, are you here just for miles in the legs to work hard for your team, or what would be a successful race for yourself?
Yeah, that's the main goal for me, to get some good race kilometer. I'm a guy who likes to, or I need some racing before I will peak, and we have a good team here actually for a lot of stages. Also, Lutsenko can do really well here, and then I'm gonna try to help him some days, and maybe you never know. Maybe I feel really good, and then I can be there on stage 6 as well. But we'll see how the legs are. First of all, I have to finish Strade Bianche, and then we'll see how the legs are in Paris. But I think it will be a really good race, and I really look forward to race Paris.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, thank you very much for taking time from a nice Tuscany to preview the race with us. I hope it goes well for you and your team, and we see Fuglsang up on the podium at some point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you, man.